What's up, guys? Sci-Fi Guy 2094 here. Today I'm going to be talking about a couple films. I did a double feature last night for movie night with some people, and I'm going to be talking about the two films I watched. So, actually, before I get into the films, we watched an episode of Black Mirror. I had never seen Black Mirror. I had heard of it. I knew it was basically like a sci-fi show. So we watched an episode of that. It was very good. It was the episode where this guy was like touring places in Europe, and his mother was back home and she kept calling him and he would never answer it, and we don't know why. But later we kind of find out, why he would never answer her calls. But he met this chick, they hooked up, they eventually started dating, and then she kind of convinced him to go to this game developers company and test out some new product. Well, she wanted the inside scoop to what they were working on. It was the episode where he went there, and then they hooked him up to this augmented reality. He was playing the little gopher game at first, and then he went into like the house and he started seeing the augmented reality stuff, and the chick kept telling him like, okay, nothing you see is going to be real, you won't, it's just audio and visual, you won't be able to feel anything, until the girl that he hooked up with showed up and basically stabbed him. He was feeling pain. They got into a tussle, they fought, he killed her, but when he looked down after he had allegedly killed her, she wasn't there, and it was like so real to him. That episode was really cool. That was the first episode of Black Mirror I'd ever seen, but it's definitely something I'll check out in the future. Very good show. Okay, now on to the movies. First movie we watched was Companion, starring Sophie Thatcher. Sophie Thatcher is a fantastic actress. The first time I actually saw Sophie Thatcher was in a movie called Prospect. It's a 2018 indie film. She stars opposite Pedro Pascal. So if you guys haven't seen that, she's like really young in that movie. She's like 17. It's a good movie, so check that one out. But anyway, in Companion, it's pretty subtle, the fact that she's like an android, because they don't make it like clear known right from the get-go that she's like this android. They just give you like little subtle things eventually to where you find out, oh, she's an android. So basically in this movie, her and Josh is her boyfriend, they go out to this like huge estate in the middle of nowhere, and there's these other people there, and it was like this little getaway. So basically this whole plot was by the boyfriend, because he wanted to use Sophie Thatcher, her name is Iris in the movie, he wanted to use Iris to kill this guy, this Russian guy who has all the money, because they assumed he was like a mobster and he was like a bad guy, and they wanted to take his fortune. So the Russian dude is like, he's rich, he's powerful, so he kind of comes on to Sophie Thatcher, and in self-defense, she kills the guy. Now Josh had removed some of her factory resets, or some of her base factory protocols. So basically, they're not allowed to like harm a human, harm other androids, and be like really aggressive. I mean, they can augment their aggression levels. But basically, it's like a thriller about this android who's kind of thrown into this situation that she didn't ask for. Her memories about how she met Josh is just like, it's just a prompt he chose. So she actually didn't know she was an android at first. I thought that was kind of interesting, because usually in these movies they always know they're an android. This one was a little different. She thought she was a real human with like these real feelings of love. And you could kind of tell she portrayed just a young girl who was in love, and it was really convincing. And then, things go south, and, you know, we see things unfold, and then we find out the gay couple. We find out that that one is an android as well, and it's just, man. And then Josh has to try to keep covering things up because Sergey gets killed, and then the cops are called, and then just a whole spiral of events happen, and he has to keep the lie going. So it's a really good film, very thrilling, very tense. I absolutely love Companion. I may be they may say I'm a simp, but I kind of am in love with Sophie Thatcher because she's amazing. But anyway, she's fantastic. She's so cute. She's adorable. I love her. So, anyway, second film is a movie called Subservience, starring Megan Fox. Megan Fox's acting ability is kind of wooden, so it's perfect for this movie because she's literally an android. Now, in this movie, she is a home taker android for this man and his kids because his wife is basically like in the hospital. She's needing this heart surgery, and basically she has to like take care of the kids and the household while this dude is like a construction worker, and he's going through like internal things because his wife is sick, and they don't know if she's going to actually pull through for this surgery. But then he's got external things going on because the company he works for, they're basically getting rid of all the human workers and replacing them with Sims. They call them Sims, which are the android workers. So this film is pretty good. Honestly, I thought this film was going to be like a very lame ripoff of Megan, but a more adult and more sexual version because you have Megan Fox in this. So I was basically thinking, okay, this is just going to be an adult Megan, except it's not going to be as good. And while it's not as good, it's way better than I thought. I was going into this thinking, okay, this movie's going to suck. But it's better than I thought. It was a little bit more complex than I had initially thought. So basically, you can imagine what happens. The AI goes rogue, which is a very common trope. But in this situation, I feel like it kind of didn't make a lot of sense in certain cases because she was able to just like rewrite her directives and programmings and just start killing people. I mean, I know she said she had to protect her primary whatever, the person she's supposed to care for, but in this situation she was just like killing people. Also, she was strangely able to control other Sims, which as far as I know, she's a normal Sim, so I don't know how she had the ability to shut other Sims down, get into their systems, make them do what she wanted. So again, some of that stuff didn't really make a lot of sense, but overall the movie wasn't too bad. I did like the movie more than I thought I would initially. So I should always give things a chance before saying, it's gonna suck, I won't like it. I'll give it a chance. Okay. So as far as like ratings for these films, Companion was awesome. I would give Companion a good 8 out of 10. And then Subservience, I would give a good 6 out of 10 for Subservience. Not a bad film, not a great film. Megan Fox, she really got me in some of these scenes. Like, I just kind of forgot how hot she was because, again, what guy didn't have a crush on Megan Fox when they were young? I know I did, certainly. She's still hot. She still got it. She's still very fine, very attractive. I'm kind of jealous of Machine Gun Kelly because that's his girl. But, man, she is fine. I mean, just so so very freaking hot. Um, so yeah, those are my thoughts on those movies. Let me know what you think of Companion and Subservience. Comment down below, and let me know which film you liked better.